We're at a Point Head Lighthouse in Portland, Maine. One big lighthouse. Okay, we got the tugboat tugging, as Irma says. Poor little boat.
Old Town will be cool.
We're in the town of Hopkinton, New Hampshire, and Irma looked online for oddities and unique things to see along the route, and we have come upon the biggest pile or largest pile of horseshoes. Yep, that's one big pile of horseshoes.
Somewhat rusty.
Some are rusty. Alright, so just a few exits from our hotel this morning in New Hampshire. We're at the Hopkinton Township. I just looked at their town hall, and now next door to it is their cemetery, established in 1765. We just come from the biggest, I guess, stash of horseshoes.
1700s.
These are, wow, headstones from the 1700s. Wow. All these thin headstones. All right, we're at the Connecticut River, which we have found online a covered bridge. Can't drive on it. We may be able to walk on it.
Because it was the railroad.
But it, yes, according to Irma's research, it was a railroad, a rail bridge. So this track, not sure about this car, but this track would have continued on through the bridge to the other side of the Connecticut River, which we see here off in the distance. Okay, here's a better view of the Connecticut River near Hopkinton, New Hampshire, and its covered bridge that we're assuming is part of the Historic Society of the town. This is on our drive towards Montpelier, Vermont. And yes, it is a bridge, and it is wooden, and it is covered. So it's a covered bridge.
On our way to Vermont from New Hampshire. help but admire. Green everywhere. Beautiful.
Yeah, one-lane bridge. Covered bridge.
And that was it. We went through the bridge.
That was it. All right, we're getting very close to the New Hampshire-Vermont border. There's the Connecticut River.
Welcome to Vermont.
Hey, Vermont!
I missed it. I totally missed it.
We're in Vermont.
We're in Vermont, and I missed the Vermont sign. But you heard Google Maps call it.
Welcome to Vermont. Okay, so we just arrived in Montpelier, Vermont, which is the state capital of Vermont. And you can see off in the distance the dome of what they call a state house. Not necessarily capital, but they call it state houses in this area. Just strolling along in Vermont. All right, first floor to the second floor. Going up the spiral staircase. So this is the painting of the Battle of Cedar Creek. And you're looking at this, looks like a stateroom. Oh yeah. So it does have, looks like the Freedom Vermont, which is freedom and unity. I think that's their motto, I think. Okay, this is the Representatives Hall. And this looks like we're also representatives conduct business. Wow.
What's your goal?
And so this is the Senate chambers.
Well, enjoy some break time this summer.
Sharp right onto Covered Bridge Road, then turn left to stay on Covered Bridge Road.
There it is.
Yeah.
Ah, camera. Ah, too much glare. Great. Sun. Okay, go.
Pretty. One-lane bridge coming up. Taftville, 10-foot clearance, covered bridge. backcountries of Vermont, just outside of Woodstock. Okay, we're in the town of Brattleboro, which is somewhat closer to the Massachusetts border and Vermont. Still going south to Massachusetts. We'll be going through it, down on our way to Connecticut. And Hartford is our next stop. Well, other stops prior to that, but our final stop for this evening will be Hartford and their state capital of Connecticut. Yeah, one thing neat about this bridge, it has a covered sidewalk on this side, and also what used to be used for vehicles. Now it's all blocked off with these large rocks cut from stone. Beautiful view of the covered bridge that we just walked through. The Creamery covered bridge. Okay, we are at the Connecticut State Capitol in the city of Hartford. And as we walked in, we see quite a bit of displayed items. This is a figurehead of the USS Connecticut from 1904 to 1923. Wow, that's big. And as we pan around the center area, it's pretty massive. Quite a bit of marble and granite. Assuming that's peering up toward the dome, perhaps, of the Capitol. A lot of detailed displays. Okay, here's the House chambers. Name placards and all of their desks. There's a lot of detail of the decor, stained glass, all around the top. And here's the Senate chambers, much smaller than the House of Reps. They're in a circular pattern. And again, more stained glass in the center. It's like a gallery locations up on top. Okay, so we have the top of the statue at the level of the Senate chambers. We're looking up toward the inner part of the dome. Very intricate and detailed. And assuming that this is the state seal of Connecticut. All right, we're on the 4th floor. Getting closer to the top. It looks like the 4th is our highest that we can go. Same stained glass roof there. Looking down, that's the 3rd floor, 2nd floor, 4th floor.
see that?
Okay, this is the official state reception room at the Providence, Rhode Island state capitol. Very old building, but quite a bit of decor. We made it into Concord, and we're going to visit the Old North Bridge and Battleground, where the first shot was shot during the beginning of the Revolutionary War. By the way, we're in Concord, Massachusetts. Okay, made it to the bridge, or Old North Bridge in Concord, the monument, and also the bridge in the background, which we'll walk over, which the first shots were fired by the British Army against the Revolution. Downtown Concord, Massachusetts. Alright, this is the Buckman Tavern in Lexington, Massachusetts, which is was the gathering place of the Lexington militia prior to the Battle of Lexington and Concord, which began the American Revolution. But also across the road here is the actual park where the Battle of Lexington first took place. $16.92.
Did that one say hanged? I just realized it says hanged. And there's some coins.
Yep. Samuel Wardwell got hung too, yes. Margaret Scott.
And then past that parking lot there, we'll take you to Washington Street, which is right across from Great Creek.
Easty.
We were here 2 years ago, and so we did a tour, and they said that there basically all these people were put on mock graves.
Pressed to death. That's with the rocks.
Oh, built? This was built in 1992, so it's 200-year anniversary of the death of the
August 27th.
and she's dedicated to Ellie Wardell.
Yeah, there's one in September.
Burroughs.
George Burroughs.
July 19th. So you got July, August, September.
All within a few months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Cole. Sarah Good. July.
Many of them were hung or pressed to death.
And June 10th. June, July.
All right, we are at Granary Cemetery. We have Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin's parents.
It's the Granary Burying Ground.
Granary Burying Grounds. And also way in the back corner there, we got John Hancock, which we have some pictures of. Rather big old cemetery. Okay, here in Boston is the Irish Famine Memorial, depicting families arriving for the dream of the new land, but ending up in famine later in their life. Okay, this is the site of the Boston Massacre. It happened in 1770, right across from the old State House, where the thought of the American Revolution was planned out. Old State House, yeah.
I'm going by the gold tower.
Yep, I follow. Oh, we made it to the backside of Fenway Park. A nice hot and humid afternoon.
1912, you can come here, get some food in the concession stands behind me. You can get yourself a little jersey in the store back there, or you can just use the restroom to get to your seats. It's also a live movie set. Over the years, we filmed a bunch of movies right here at Fenway Park. Some of the movies you may have seen.
Sort of shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Take the apexes.
Again, Fenway Park officially opened its doors here April 20th, 1912, but our story actually starts a little bit before that. We were originally founded in 1901, and we weren't known as the Red Sox until 1908, when we wore Red Sox. Pretty simple, right? We call ourselves the Red Sox because it's 3 letters on one side of the button, 3 letters on the other, kind of looks symmetrical down the middle. We also sold out from the Chicago White Sox.
At one point, this was the largest press box in Major League Baseball with about 80 seats for regular games and then 100 for playoff games until a brand new team built a brand new ballpark and added 2 extra seats there. Do we know who that would have been? The seating capacity of Fenway Park that only sits 37,555 seats, all right? If we got rid of the blue grandstand seats, we'd lose a bunch of seats. We had then talked about the roof protecting these blue grandstand seats. That is also from 1934.
Hey dude, he said, I'm just happy it wasn't standing up or would have hurt a lot more. So. That's the story of the red seat. The seat was made red to honor Ted Williams. It's only been left empty twice in their entire history. The first time in 2002 when Ted Williams actually passed away, we put a black sash in it, flowers next to it, security guard also next to it to make sure no one sat there for the remainder of the cause. We first put this up back in 2015. We've done over 100,000 pounds of produce since. It's very, very cool. That's why we like to say Fenway Farms is the best farm system in the majors. I know, pretty bad. E-services, yay! And that's because baseballs are flying up here over 100 miles per hour. You gotta make sure you're paying attention to the baseballs or letting the balls hit the walls behind you guys. Some of you guys might look, is it gonna be hitting a home run? It's gonna be a home run, except it's very windy that day. So the ball starts carrying the wind starts carrying the ball into foul territory, and the cameraman does something special. Instead of following the ball, he points his camera at Carlton Fisk as he's running up first base. Does anybody know what he starts doing? He starts waving his arms, yelling, "Go fair, urging it to be a home run. The entire stadium, everyone starts throwing their arms, yelling, screaming for it to be a home run. It is. We win in walk-off fashion. People start rushing the field. The organist is playing Hallelujah. We win Game 6. We're not going to talk about Game 7, all right? But this foul pole stands at 310 feet, also known as the third shortest distance for a home run in all of baseball. Does anybody know what the shortest distance for a home run in all of baseball?
The view from the top of the Green Monster. Okay, we are in the Nurses' Hall of the Massachusetts State House. And depicted up on the left is a painting of Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. And in the center,
James Oldest arguing against the writs of us.
Okay, and on the right
Is the Boston Tea Party.
Boston Tea Party. Yep. Say no taxes, no taxes. We're entering the Hall of Flags. This is the Pilgrims on the Mayflower. Then we have Civil War, John Eliot preaching, and the Battle at the Concord Bridge, which we were there a couple days ago. So this is the Hall of Flags. We're entering the Great Hall of Flags, which is the newest addition to the Massachusetts State House, completed in 1990. And it basically is displaying all of the township flags of Massachusetts all along the walls of what we think was a courtyard, which got enclosed. Yeah, setting up for a reception of some kind, yeah. In the center is a functioning artwork of a clock. This is the Massachusetts House of Representatives chambers, or chamber, House of Reps. Wow. All right, we've entered the Senate chambers of the Massachusetts State House. All right, we're currently at Boston Public Gardens, which is adjacent to Boston Common. And one thing that that Irma's very fond at and intrigued with are squirrels on trees.
We're down.
Yeah. He's just frozen on the trunk.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Look at the way they're holding on. He's like laying down.
Looks like one of those flying squirrels. It's a flying squirrel pose.
Oh, there he goes. There he goes. He's coming down. He's coming down.
By asking for, hey, you got any pieces of crackers and meat and food? And he's probably saying, ooh, human, I must run away to the other side of the tree. Today we are attempting to walk most of the hopefully all of the Black Heritage Trail, which is on Beacon Hill in Boston. And currently we're at the Charles Street Meeting House, which is on the corner of Mount Vernon Street and Charles Street in Boston. There's a lot of church-like structures which they considered meeting houses as well. Okay, so we'll see how this looks inside. But we're still walking up Charles Street to get up to our next stop, which is somewhere beyond Revere Street, which is not here yet, but we're getting there. We're just admiring the brick buildings of this Beacon Hill neighborhood. Okay, we've arrived at Revere Street. We'll be making a right turn, going up a hill, but not to fetch a pail of water, but we'll see how we do here. Okay, it's great to see some markings and signage for the Black Heritage Trail. So we're at least on the right direction. Going up Revere Street. We'll be hanging a left onto, I'm not sure, this is, it's going to be West Center Street. Making a left. All right, we're continuing up on Phillips, a section of the Black Heritage Trail. Of Lewis Hayden, 1811 to 1889. That's a long time. Fugitive slave, leading abolitionist, Prince Hall Mason, rescuer of Sadrick, member of the General Court, and messenger to the Secretary of State. This is also a meeting place of abolitionists and a station on the Underground Railroad. Cool. Okay, so on the corner of Phillips and Irving Street is the Colburn gambling house. And here's her placard, very modest, I guess, conservative. And then that will be located right, well, it's hard to see with this, but it's at the T before we head up to that letter A up there in the center, which is their visitor center. We're making it. The Black Heritage Trail. Okay, we made it to the African Meeting House, which is part of the Museum of African American History. And we are hoping that there is air conditioner in there. Because it is roasting hot. Okay, so this is the sanctuary area of the meeting house. We got Frederick Douglass in the back here. Also served as a community center. Okay, we're up in the gallery section, or what we could consider the gallery section of the meeting area. Looking down. A lot of old wood. Okay, on Pinckney is George Middleton House. And we're getting close to ending our Black Heritage Trail venture for the day. All right, it is warm, we know that. Just spreading out, yeah, just kind of laying in the grass while your buddy over there is looking for food. Cruising it, huh, dude?
Oh, there's another one on the side.
Oh,
Also.
go check out your buddy. I'm out of here. At Boston Public Garden, overlooking the lake in the center portion of it, and off in the distance is part of the town. The actual downtown is behind us, but this is kind of where we're headed, back to the hotel. All right, we're going to visit the Boston Public Library on our final day in Boston. We're in the center courtyard of the Boston Public Library. Fountain. Still on the first floor of the Boston Public Library. This is one awesome first floor, and there's more.
when it comes to the home. That's you choosing to make that investment. Nobody's imposing that on you, but you're choosing to do that for your home. Also, neighborhoods and businesses and a huge toll on communities. And so I want to propose that we make investments available to shore up our infrastructure. Sometimes
I'm sorry, I don't want